Hello and welcome to the Creative Differences Podcast. I'm Dallas, here to wish you the happiest of holidays.
I'm Gaby, and Feliz Navidad.
That was low key from Gaby. I'm Colin, and not to start off hot, but I'm gonna start off a bit hot. How many holiday movies are there that aren't about Christmas?
Like zero.
We've done this, Colin.
There are
That's
some.
not true. It's not
Did this,
zero.
There are
2
absolutely
episodes ago.
some. I know that there are, but it's just just saying.
When you say holiday, you mean
Holiday
December
season, my
holidays?
ass.
Actually, full court miracle. There you go. That one's about Judaism. It's about Hanukkah.
Anyway,
8 Crazy Nights, Fiddler on the Roof. Let's just
Fiddler
say
is
that.
not about a holiday.
That's not.
Yeah, that's why I'm
holiday,
wondering
but,
why
like,
you brought it up last time you did this. You said Fiddler on the Roof first, and I was like, is that movie about Hanukkah?
Did I bring it up?
like-
I
yeah,
mean,
you
it's
did.
the
You want-
Jews.
yeah.
It's not like a holiday movie.
All
Anyway.
right, and I'm Demi, and it feels like all my life I've waited for this day. No, I haven't actually though. What's up, guys? Welcome to this holiday review episode of Creative Differences.
Hello.
Hooray. Welcome, people. Today we're talking about Jingle Jangle and Happiest Season. 2 movies I have not seen.
What?
2 movies that I also have not seen.
Yeah.
What up, bro?
Because
We're gonna-
the guys are whack.
We're going to turn it over to me and Gaby.
I had other things to do, my dude.
So did I, and I still found time. The guys are whack.
Me
Welcome to
too.
our holiday review.
I worked 24 hours in the last 36 hours, my dudes.
Gaby, you prioritize these kind of movies over everything in your life.
It doesn't matter. I still watch them.
I don't know if
Yeah,
she
that's fine.
prioritized them over everything in her life. She
I know,
just
I
said that
definitely
she worked
prioritize
24
work
hours and
over
36.
everything in my life.
You guys are talking over each other, but Demi or Gaby, whoever wants to lead, take us into the
Yeah,
movie.
sure. Let's kick it off with Happiest Season.
Yes.
Abby goes home for well, I'm going to do Dallas's thing where he introduces the movie first, and then
Yeah.
we'll talk about our feelings on it.
All
Abby
right, and
goes
it's
home.
Harper goes home.
No. Abby goes home for Christmas with her girlfriend Harper with intentions to propose, only to discover that Harper still hasn't come out to her parents. The movie is directed and written by Clea Duvall, and it stars Kristen Stewart, Mackenzie Davis, Allison Brie, Mary Holland, Daniel Levy, Aubrey Plaza, Mary Steenburgen, and Victor Garber. So let's get into this.
Gah.
Yes, I really loved this movie. It was a delight.
Yeah, it was just like, okay, so you know how Christmas movies, like the theme in most of them is just like, there's going to be a disaster of some sort, like the whole Christmas season,
There has to be a disaster, or else it's
Yeah.
not a Christmas movie.
right? And that felt like this had it built in right there in the plot. It's just so good.
Yeah. So the thing is about the movie.
Sad.
Oh my gosh, it was so sad at times. I felt like this movie was like your typical holiday rom-com, which isn't a bad thing.
Yeah, I liked that part of it.
Yeah, because it was still different enough from typical rom-coms because hey, look, we have gay people. Like Harper and Abby being gay adds a different set of conflicts.
Like the coming out story is uniquely like a gay thing, right? So that there's
Yeah.
that part of it too.
And the journey is the fun part of the movie. It's like you know how this movie's gonna end, but it's the journey and how you get there that's the fun part.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought the cast was great. I am loving this new era of Kristen Stewart movies where she
Yes.
just kind of plays these characters that feel like characters that she should have always been playing. And I'm starting to fall in love with Daniel Levy and Aubrey Plaza. They are absolutely fantastic in this movie. And I already love Mackenzie Davis, so without question.
Dude, Dan Levy in this was amazing. Also, I love the part at the end. I love the consistent like he's tracking people bit. I love that it kept coming up and it was hilarious to me.
And it worked out really well.
Like it just like I felt like it was just a build up for that last little joke that Mackenzie's character said at the very end, and I was
Yes, and it was great. It
Which is
lands
like, I
so
was-
perfectly.
right.
It was great. It lands so perfectly.
And
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
Well, speaking of which, I think that the movie is also just very funny. From like the top of the movie, I just started laughing at like some of the really ridiculous things that go on in the film. Like the beginning of the movie is them they climb up onto somebody's roof. And like the people who are living in that house though, that part I was
Oh,
like,
That was even
"What?"
more interesting.
No, hold on. I have to cut that out. I want people to experience that for themselves.
Okay, but the part where she goes, "I didn't tell you could come outside." I was like, "Yes."
Oh my gosh,
Oh my
so
I have
much.
questions about that we're gonna get to off mic.
We will.
But the characters are all really amusing and really dynamic, although somewhat kind of unlikable at times. Often,
Oh,
actually.
especially Harper.
Harper's okay, here's the thing about Harper. I know a lot of people don't like Harper, but I really like Harper because I could totally understand why she was behaving the way that she was behaving.
I
Like
understand her behavior as well.
she was scared and she was under a lot of pressure, and it doesn't excuse her behavior.
No.
She does some really awful things throughout the movie, and I totally get why Abby would start to question her relationship with Harper based on that trip.
Yeah.
But I also understood why Harper was behaving the way that she was. And I want a sequel so that Harper can just be herself in that movie.
I agree. I would love to see a sequel. I feel like it'd be really interesting.
It'd be super cute too.
And it would. I just really liked it. Jane was probably no, Jane and John were definitely my favorite characters this whole movie. And I just felt so bad for Jane all the time.
As you should, yeah. Jane, I feel
Like
bad for.
and like oh god. But yeah, overall it was like a really solid Christmas rom-com.
Yeah.
I feel like if this whole pandemic thing hadn't happened, it would have been like in theaters and it would have been a big hit just
It
because of
definitely
how
would have been in
delightful.
theaters.
Yeah, and just because of how delightful it is, like, and also like I have to applaud Mackenzie Davis because her character, while I understand why people didn't like her or whatever, her character really like if in different hands it could have gone over worse, but I felt like Mackenzie Davis brought a lot of vulnerability and a lot of heart to Harper.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been excited about this movie since I found out that Kristen Stewart and Mackenzie Davis were acting in a movie where they were playing girlfriends. And I was
I was
like,
so
yeah,
excited for
absolutely. That
her.
totally makes sense. I'm here for it. And I'm glad that I really enjoyed the movie. I also realized while watching this movie, I love dysfunctional family holiday movies. Like, that's just my thing. It's
You love
fantastic.
dysfunctional family stories in general.
This Christmas, yeah,
But Christmas ones are the best.
they kind of are because at the end everything works out because Christmas.
Exactly. But like, it's so dysfunctional. It's great, man. But yeah, I really like this one. Had a lot of fun. Definitely plan to watch it again probably at some point this holiday season.
Yeah, it's great. I've already watched it twice, and it's just such a delightful like holiday rom com. Gosh, I liked it so much. I was excited just to see like us because this rom-com when I saw the trailer it just looked like it was going to be a really well done one and I was like yes another good rom-com and I was not disappointed, so I do highly recommend Happiest Season.
Dope. Let's move on to our next film, which is Jingle Jangle, A Christmas Story. For the record, Happiest Season is on Hulu. Jingle Jangle, A Christmas Story is on Netflix. In Dallas fashion. In the gloriously vibrant town of Cobbleton, legendary toy maker Geronicus Jangle's fanciful inventions burst with whimsy and wonder. But when his trusted apprentice steals his most prized creation, it's up to his equally bright and inventive granddaughter and a long forgotten invention to heal old wounds and reawaken the magic within. Directed and written by David E. Talbot and starring Forrest Whitaker, Keegan-Michael Key, Anika Noni Rose, Felicia Rashad, and introducing Madeline Mills. So first off, the music in this movie friggin' slaps.
Yep, it's really solid stuff.
Didn't need to slap this hard. The movie is composed by John Debney, who did the live-action Jungle Book, and the songs were written by Philip Lawrence, Davy Nathan, Michael Diskent, and John Legend, and the choreography was done by Ashley Wallen, and he did the choreography for The Greatest Showman,
Of course.
which is why I'm seeing a lot of people compare it to The Greatest Showman for music and choreography purposes, and I guess kind of production value.
Hmm.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I would argue that Jingle Jangle might be the better movie, just by a little bit.
I can't
Is that
I can't second that argument because I haven't seen The Greatest Showman.
I've seen both. So yeah, I'm gonna say that Jingle Jangle is better.
I'm rooting for everybody black, so I'm going to second Demi's argument.
Even though you haven't seen it, I think Dallas. I think you would enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't watch it because because there's children at your home, and this is definitely a family movie. And like, it just seems like something you would enjoy with the kids.
That's fair, but I didn't.
You should. You still have time. It's
Yep.
Christmas is not here yet. Shout out to Justin Cornwell and Sharon Rose who sing This Day, because that song has been stuck in my head for the last 24 hours since I watched the movie. Then that
Is that the
opening
opening
number.
song? Yes.
Yeah, that's the opening number. And oh my gosh, when that beat drops, it took it like because the beat goes for a second before the song actually starts. And I was just like, what's happening? Where are we going with this? But man, that song like really kicks off like a series of really great songs.
I think it was also or it was produced by John Legend. So like the moment I saw that, I was like, "Ooh, this movie's about to be really good."
Yeah. And also there's another song in there that I really like. I like Square Root of Possible, and I also like Make This Work, I believe it's called. Anika Noni Rose's vocals on that song are ridiculous. But yeah, outside of the music, the movie's very imaginative, and
Yeah.
I don't think I could have ever imagined watching a movie like this as a kid. Like there's like this really awesome mix of modernity with Victorian era and steampunk, which is dope.
Yeah. I love the production design on this. I love the costumes. It's so unique, but like it's odd to place. And I
It's
like
very
it.
Christmas though.
Yes, it is. It's almost like evocative of like Dickens stuff, but like not. I don't know. It just has a timeless quality to it. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the production value in the Santa Claus.
Oh,
Like that
okay.
kind of like, or and in Noel, like the Christmas kind of town, but like the tailoring was a little bit better in this movie.
It
I
was
don't know.
different and there was flavor and it was
Yeah,
great. There were mostly black people in Victorian clothing, and you know what? We don't get that too often, and I'm here
no,
for it.
and it looks great.
Yeah, production design, costume design, like flawless in this movie.
Yes, I agree.
Also, an incredible cast like Forrest Whitaker and Ikanoni Rose and Keegan Michael Key, like all deliver. Um,
Yeah,
Keegan Michael Key as a villain is fantastic.
yeah,
He's a villain.
yeah,
Yeah, he's the villain in the movie.
and he has
Wow.
great like singing numbers. Oh my god, like musical numbers. Ugh,
Yes,
great.
him and Forrest Whitaker did not know that they could sing until this movie.
Yeah. Also, the little bad toy is Ricky Martin.
Yeah, I know. I looked it up like shortly after his character introduction. I was like, who is this?
The evil Spanish toy is
Don Juan.
Ricky Martin. Yes.
But also I think the person who gives the best performance in the movie, the one who's really to watch is Madeline Mills, who plays Journey.
Yes.
She's amazing.
She
She's great.
she's a powerhouse. She did an amazing job.
Yeah, there are some child actors that you see and you're just like, "Oh, that's a star in the making." And I felt that way watching her.
I completely agree with you.
But also she's been on Broadway, I think in School of Rock and How the Grinch Stole Christmas the musical.
Oh wow. Well, that explains why she's so confident because I was like, wow, she's like um I mean, she just kind of like almost glided through the numbers and she's just like a very strong performer and I was like, wow, like and if she's got a background in Broadway, that makes sense because oh my goodness, she was so good.
Yeah, you can like see yeah, I agree with you. You can see it on screen how confident she is and like she is a performer,
Exactly.
which is what makes her great to watch. But yeah, the movie's very much about the magic of invention, innovation, and belief in a way that I've never seen it before. I think there are a couple of movies in recent years, especially, that have talked about how magic and science are very similar. And I think this is the first time that a movie has made them one in the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a really good, uplifting, feel good movie. I think the whole movie just feels like Christmas. Like the tone is like this is Christmas.
Yes, I agree with you. I don't know
Yeah.
if they like talk about Christmas directly. I can't remember because I saw it a little while ago, but
Well, yeah, Journey tells Veronicus that her mom is coming to get her on Christmas.
okay.
Now, to be fair, this movie could have taken place at any point during the year and it would not have mattered. But Christmas is the day that they have made specifically important.
Got it. Because it like I don't specifically remember a Christmas like plot, but it just the movie just felt like Christmas.
Yeah. And there's not really a Christmas number either.
Yeah. That's true.
But it's got those themes that Christmas always brings about, you know, the themes of belief and hope and faith and not necessarily faith in this movie. Well, no, kind of faith. Yeah, the whole movie's about believing.
making things possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it feels like Christmas. It looks like Christmas. It feels like Christmas. It's about Christmas without actually being about Christmas.
Yeah. And just such a solid, beautiful, enjoyable family movie. I really,
No, for
really
sure.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, I would say that my only criticism of this film is that like it probably could have been shorter. Like I had to pause at one point, and I think I was an hour and a half into the movie, and there were still 30 minutes left, and I was like, "Wait, what? I thought we were
Yeah,
at the end of the movie."
I think I was surprised that it like I could. There was a couple times where I was like, "Oh, the movie's over," and then it was like, "Oh no, this is still going."
Yeah,
But yeah, I didn't realize how long it was, but I don't know. I don't know. It kind of also just. Well, part of me was like, "Oh, the movie's over," but then it was like, "But Jeronicus is still upset. Like, it's still sad. Like, he needs to be happy. There must still be time or something." So
yeah,
I
it's a
don't know.
2-hour movie. It's not like a long movie. It's a 2-hour movie, but it was just like I guess the pacing felt slow in certain places,
Mhm.
but it was it was definitely worth those 2 hours just watching because it feels good. The whole thing feels good. That snowball fight scene is incredible. I love that scene.
Yeah, I liked. My favorite scene was Keegan-Michael Key's big musical number where he's like presenting the new toy.
It's pretty cool.
That one, just he really is a great singer. I didn't realize that he had such a great voice, but like he did amazing.
I wanna say "This Day" is my favorite musical number, especially since I sang it at the beginning of this episode, but that song or like I said, I named off my 3 favorite songs in this movie. I'm not gonna try and figure out which one between the 3 of them is my favorite, it's fine. But yeah, I feel like Jingle Jangle: A Christmas Story and Happiest Season are both, like, instant Christmas classics. Like, I'll probably be watching these every year for Christmas now.
I agree with you. Same.
That was our holiday review. This is us trying to, give you guys some more inclusive movies for your holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Woo!
Christmas.
That's not the end of the episode, though. Next up, we have our news segment.
Yes, we got some news things. Am I just gonna read all of them and then we just go from there? What?
See.
Lovely. News number one, and probably the most recent announcement on this list: Chris Pine is going to star in the live-action Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Ooh.
Yes, and the movie is, to me, correct me if I'm wrong, directed and written by John Francis Daly
And Jonathan Goldstein,
and
who is
Jonathan Gold.
Oh.
his writing partner.
And they are dope because they gave us Horrible Bosses, Game Night, Spider-Man: Homecoming. So Game Night, I know, was directed by John. He wrote
No,
Horrible Bosses.
it was directed by both of them.
Yes, better. Directed by both of them. And then I think aside from that, John Francis has only directed, I think, Vacation, which I haven't seen.
Yeah.
But he's great at writing. He wrote Homecoming and Horrible Bosses, and I love both of those movies.
They both wrote on Horrible Bosses and Spider-Man: Homecoming, so they're like a duo.
So this is a
Very
comedy?
nice.
Question mark?
Nobody really knows what this is, but I'm going to assume that it's definitely gonna be funny.
And Chris Pine is hilarious.
He is. He was in Horrible Bosses too.
Yes.
Oh.
He was very funny.
My only thing is, as somebody who now actively plays D&D a lot, I'm now kind of wondering what the concept of this film is. Like, it's Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons is kind of just you role playing out a fantasy story. So, is it just a fantasy movie, or are we legitimately watching some guys play D&D and we're also watching the fantasy world as they create it and
See,
unfold?
now that we know
Is it
who's
a
writing and directing it, I'm really worried that it's going to be the latter, and I will hate that.
I feel like it's like a Jumanji type of thing, and I'm not quite sure
Oh,
I
that's
wish it
what
was
interesting.
to.
more like remember that like what was it called? Black Mirror episode that you could just click on to like
Oh,
Oh, the
oh, Bandersnatch?
yeah.
Bandersnatch, yes.
I wish it was that.
Yeah, I'm curious as to what a Dungeons and Dragons movie I mean, there are Dungeons and Dragons movies, but, like, I guess you could approach that concept in several different ways, so I don't know what to expect. Are you just giving me a fantasy movie? Or is there real people playing a game and then we're watching their fantasy world? I'm not quite sure how this works.
I have no idea, but I'm probably going to watch it because these guys are hilarious and I really like Chris Pine.
That's true, I'm probably gonna watch it regardless, but I am
Me too.
curious as to where this is going.
Yes, I'm very curious, but they got the right people involved for me. So I'm with it.
Yeah.
Is that it for that? Any other thoughts?
No, that's it.
Cool. I wish I looked up how to say this name. Demi, do you know how to say the name for news number
I'm
2?
assuming their name is Quintessa Swindell, and they are playing Cyclone in Black Adam.
Cool.
Interesting.
I don't know who Cyclone is, but
Me either.
I am excited about Black Adam. So
I'm assuming Cyclone does like wind stuff.
Storm stuff.
that's a fair guess. That's a fair assumption to make. She's the granddaughter of Red Tornado. Isn't he a robot?
We've talked about this before too. It's
About
the
Cyclone?
original Red Tornado. We have her abilities are flight, wind manipulation, and sound wave control.
Dope.
So she basically is like Storm.
I mean, like with not all of Storm's powers.
Okay.
Fair. But yeah, that'll be interesting. I don't know. I guess I wasn't expecting any Black Adam news. I forgot that they still had people that they needed to cast in this film.
Well,
Quintessa.
yeah, because they made that announcement with like all the people that are going to be in it, right? All the characters.
Yeah, it was The Rock, Noah, Aldous.
Yes, right.
But yeah, Cyclone still needed to be cast. I think they have one more member that they probably need to cast, actually. I think Dr. Fate's in the movie.
Yes, Dr. Fate is in the movie. We talked about that.
And I don't think we've gotten a Dr. Fate casting announcement.
No, but audience, if you want to hear some theories, you can go to our Justice League /Society episode and find out who we want to cast for that.
Yeah. Interesting enough, they are a pretty new actor, like on the scene.
Yes, I've never heard their name before.
Well, not only have you never heard their name, they've been in 2 things before this movie.
Oh, so they're new.
Yeah, so Euphoria, which I've watched, so I've seen them before, but I don't remember who they played because it was probably just for an episode. And then a show called Trinkets, which I've never heard of.
Well, all right.
But they are very pretty.
Starting fresh. I like it.
Yep.
Super fresh.
pretty.
Well, shout out to Quintessa. Good job.
All right, I think that's all we got for that.
That is all we got for that. All right, news number 3. Everybody and their mama is in Spider-Man 3, allegedly.
I don't know,
Yeah.
man.
I don't know what's confirmed.
I'm
at this point.
afraid.
I think everything's a rumor, but then I'm seeing different, like
Okay,
every
the
site.
one that I'm excited about that
Oh,
I
what you excited
just
about?
saw was that there's a rumor going around that the dude who yells out, "Hey, he stole that guy's pizza" in Spider-Man 2.
Donnell Rawlings,
Yes, I heard about that.
Ashley
I
Larry.
really
That would
need
be
to
amazing.
happen.
Yeah, so many people. Alfred Molina was the one that I think was most recently basically confirmed. Everybody else is just a rumor.
So, Alfred Molina lives around here. I ran into him at Trader Joe's once.
Ask him next time you run into him.
Well, I was
Uh,
like, "Hey, I love your work," and he was like, "Thanks," and I was like, "Okay, bye."
Go find him.
Yeah.
Be like, Al, you in Spider-Man 3? Who else is in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and watch him be
No,
like,
don't
I can't
ask
tell
him
you,
because
random
he'll
shopper
probably
at
just
Trader
get
Joe's.
taken out by a sniper.
You know what? That's fair. That is the joke. That is, who knows? They might be telling us the truth and we all think that they're lying. Yeah, Alfred Molina, I think, is the most recent, basically confirmed. There's rumors that Tobey Maguire, Kirsten Dunst, Andrew Garfield, and Emma Stone are all coming back
Oh my
as
god, that
well.
would be amazing.
That would actually be really dope. But wait,
Uh,
is Jamie Foxx confirmed or is that another rumor?
Jamie Foxx is confirmed. Like he put that on his Instagram. He is
Okay.
confirmed.
So they're doing something.
I'm so
Yeah.
confused.
Something's going on over there.
Rumor is that Charlie Cox might also be returning to play Daredevil.
That would be
What?
amazing. I'd
That
love
would
it.
be so
See,
dope.
the thing is,
That'll be
that's
so dope.
fine, except I know what's going to happen is it's going to start a whole bunch of whining about, well, why haven't you brought the other Defenders into the movies? Nah, 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 nah.
Well,
Here's
I
the thing
mean,
about
but
that.
this makes sense because Daredevil's a lawyer and Spider-Man currently needs a
They
lawyer.
can do anything they want with space and time. It doesn't have to make sense.
And the thing about that, Colin, is that people are already complaining, so it doesn't matter.
Right, but I
Because
think this is
People
going to
started
make it
complaining
harder.
as soon as the movies came out and the Defenders weren't in Endgame. People have been complaining since. So there's no reason not to give us something we do want just because other people will complain about what they want.
That's true. I've been complaining about the Defenders and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Runaways and Cloak
Yo,
and Dagger not being in
same.
Endgame. So
I've been like, yo, where's Luke Cage at? Where's Daredevil? So if they want to, start to rectify that, I'm all for it.
make it better. Make it better.
But yeah, I'm really happy that I'm really excited for Donnell Rawlings to show up as he stole that guy's pizza, dude.
Yes, I hope
be
he says the
fantastic.
same line.
but about a different Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I'd love it.
I mean,
Makes
we'll
total
see what
sense.
happens. We'll see how many of these are actually true.
Only time will tell.
I hope that Donald Glover comes back.
Better.
We'll also see how long they are actually in the movie, because a lot of people are like, "Oh my goodness, these people are coming back," and I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if all of these were like cameos.
I would be okay with that.
It's gonna
I
be
would
like
prefer
walking
that.
through a hallway of a jail and be like, walk past them real quick, and then they'll just be gone.
I would love that.
They're all just in jail.
But at this point, I
Yeah.
feel like we're going to continuously get rumors that people from different Spider-Man movies are just going to be appearing until the movie's finally out.
Oh, definitely.
Fair.
Especially because the movie is filming right now,
It's true. But I mean, they already brought Jameson back, so I think that might have kicked all this off. But we didn't even know back then.
and they brought Jamie Foxx back. So
Sure.
there's also there were paparazzi photos of Tobey Maguire showing up for a fitting recently.
I heard about that. But like, was that for? Do we know what that was for?
Nope, it could be for anything.
Right. He could just be making another movie.
Damn it.
It could literally be for anything.
I saw that on
But
Twitter. Somebody was like, Tobey Maguire's at a set. And I was like, he's an actor, bro.
that's what he
Be in
does.
there. Of course he's at a set.
You're like, he's an actor, bro.
That's
But
his job.
if he is on the Spider-Man set, that'd be dope.
But yeah, I think that's all we can say. I mean, I see a lot of people who are complaining at the idea of all these people showing up. I am only going to complain if it brings down the story of the film. If the movie's good, I don't care.
I'd be
Same.
ecstatic if they do this well and they give us
Mhm.
all the stuff that we want and still give us a good story.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, if
But
you're
yeah.
gonna fan service me, just do it right.
Exactly. Serve them fans.
Jimmy would like to be serviced.
Wouldn't we
I'd
all?
see that depends. It really depends. All right, I think we can move on to the next piece of news, which is more like us reacting to things that we liked, less so than actual news.
Yes.
But before we jump into that, so Disney had its investor meeting call thing that turned out to be more like a D23 con than anything
It really
else.
was.
So before we get into our reactions to some of the news that came out for that, one of the first things that was announced is that Disney is rolling out something called Star, which is their international answer to Hulu. Basically, Star is a free tier within Disney Plus for subscribers in Europe, Canada, and New Zealand. That will be inside of Disney Plus. It'll allow for people internationally to watch shows from like FX or movies from 20th century, and they'll be able to choose if they want to watch shows with higher age ratings. Disney is also rolling out something called Star Plus to Latin American subscribers, and that will be carrying a bunch of Disney-owned entertainment and stuff like that. So basically, Disney is hardcore investing in their streaming service, which I guess they should, because it seems that they've got 86 million subscribers to Disney Plus alone.
Also,
Heard
it
about that.
seems like it's the only thing that's making them money right now. So
I mean, maybe.
I can't comment on that. Who
I
knows
can't
what
either.
Disney
I have
does?
no idea.
They got too much stuff for me to try to look at what is and isn't making them money right now. They own so many things. It's
They
ridiculous.
do.
they do.
But yeah, that's cool. Shout out to Disney going global. I mean, like they already weren't.
During this 4-hour investor call,
4 hours?
it was a 4-hour call. I was scrolling social media for 4 hours looking at all the news that they were releasing. I mean, they took a break at some point in that 4 hours. But anyway, there was a lot of news about future content that we'll be releasing, whether it be Disney movies, stuff on FX, stuff for Nat Geo, stuff for ESPN, Marvel, and Star Wars, of course, just across the board what they're planning. So we're not going to discuss everything because that would take an entire episode on its
That would
own.
take too long.
And we don't have
Yes.
that time right now.
We don't have time to get into all that.
Yeah, so I would recommend, if you guys want to know all the news that's happening, check out Disney's Twitter or check out Disney's website. I think they've got all the information laid out as to what was talked about during this investor call. But what we're going to do instead is talk about the things that we are most excited for that was mentioned off of this call.
So I do have a
Most likely
question.
just me and Dallas.
My question to you. So I had first heard the term Disney investor meeting like right before they started blowing Twitter up. So when you say it's a call, like what was this? Was this just like a Disney hire up sitting a bunch of dudes around the table and just like shouting releases at them for 4 hours.
So it's Disney Investor Day,
Yes.
and basically, I guess it was just a webcast that they put out for people to watch.
Okay.
It's probably like the equivalent to a Disney stockholder meeting.
Yeah, except this time they decided to broadcast it to the world.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
probably
cool.
because
That
there's all
makes sense.
these rumors that Disney's not doing well, right? Because of the parks and all that stuff. So they were like, well, okay, let's show everybody, particularly our stockholders, that we are in fact doing well and look at our plans. And then also it's a way to get advertising out for them. And I mean, it worked, right? Their stock went up.
Yeah,
Their
they were like,
stock hit a record high from what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
of course it
So
did.
yeah, so it worked.
They spent 4 hours saying, "Hey guys, everything you like, we have more of it coming over the next few years. Get ready."
And am I mad about it? Absolutely not.
Oh no, I was like, okay.
And they didn't even cover them. Well, they did cover the Marvel universe. Never mind.
Yeah, they covered
They
it a lot.
covered everything.
They did.
They covered everything. Well, also, okay, so first up, just information, just actual news that's actually going to be coming up pretty soon. Raya and the Last Dragon will now be releasing in theaters and on Disney Plus, the premium Disney Plus. So you'll be able to spend money to watch Raya and the Last Dragon from home the day that it comes out in theaters,
So
which
like
is
a
in
Mulan
March.
situation, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think they've announced what the price will be, if it'll still be $30 like Mulan was, or if it'll be cheaper, or if it'll be more. I doubt it'll be more, but if it'll be cheaper or not. But that's exciting, for everybody who was excited about Raya and the Last Dragon. I am one of those people.
And also people that live in the United States, that's still a fucking hellhole. So
Yeah, we can't go to theaters out here. So
We don't even have theaters open in LA,
no,
so
this isn't New Zealand where things are
Yeah.
back to normal.
it's unfortunate, guys.
New
I'm
Zealand's
dying.
out here getting new
Exactly.
streaming services like, oh, we get Star. Like, we can't even go to the movies, bro. Give us
This
them.
is like our dumpster fire of a country doesn't have it together yet.
Yeah. So you guys, what is I was posting a lot of the news in our group chat. I know that Dallas wrote down some of the stuff that he was excited for. I know what I'm excited about. What are you guys feeling right now?
I was completely overwhelmed. And I had to stop looking because I was like, I went from excited to very anxious. So I just put it down. The thing that caught my eye the most was Hayden Christensen returning as Darth Vader for Kenobi.
Yes.
And I really like that Ahsoka is going to get her own show. Those two. And then I believe it's called Encanto, the Lin-Manuel
Yes.
Miranda project. I'm really excited to see more about that. I'm cautiously apprehensive. It is about Colombia. I don't really know much about that country because I'm not from that country and none of my parents are. So it'll be interesting to learn more about their culture. But so I'm cautiously optimistic about that one. But I'm mostly super excited about the Ahsoka show and the Kenobi show.
Yeah. If I had not been on a Zoom call when the Star Wars news, actually, I was on a Zoom call the entire time for this 4 hours. But had I not been on a Zoom call, I probably would have actually just cried when I saw the news about Hayden Christensen coming back. It's been a rumor for so long.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's what was going on. So the Star Wars Instagram account had been just putting up a bunch of pictures and videos and stuff from the prequels. And I was like, wow, they're just giving a lot of love to the prequels right now. What's going on? And this other Instagrammer that I follow, she was also like, guys, what's going on? They've been posting a lot about the prequels, and then this news came out that Hayden Christensen was coming back as Vader, and she would both me and her were like, I knew there was a reason.
It's been a rumor for a couple months now. People have been saying that he's coming back for Kenobi, but it hadn't been confirmed by any, I guess, credible source.
Yeah, they're just really good at keeping secrets, I guess, keeping us
They're good.
questioning things.
But
But
yeah, the Ahsoka show I'm also excited about after having seen that one episode of The Mandalorian.
So is that a
Yeah.
live action spinoff
Yep.
from
Yeah,
like
with
just
Rosario
Rosario?
Dawson.
Rosario
Okay,
Dawson.
cool.
And Patty Jenkins is directing, I think, a show. And
She's directing a movie called
a
Rogue
movie. Okay,
Squadron.
I'm really excited about that too. And who do I have to call to be on that show, on that movie, even as an extra?
Who do I have to call to be a production assistant? I don't care, man. Just
Right?
give me a
Let's
job.
go. I will leave it all
Do it.
behind. I will risk it all for being in Patty Jenkins's movie.
Well, I mean, that's actually my job. So if you guys actually want to give me a paid job to be on a Star Wars set, I'm able and willing.
Or let's get you on that Ahsoka show.
I will do anything. I will work on any of these Star Wars projects, to be honest. But I'll talk about
Become
some of
best
those
friends with
later.
Dave Filoni.
Oh, please, I want to be
Or
his
John
apprentice.
Favreau. Yeah, right?
No, I want to
Same.
be Dave Filoni's apprentice.
Dude, his story about how he became what's his name? Oh, why am I blanking?
George
George
Lucas's
Lucas's
apprentice is
apprentice was like great.
it's insane.
Oh my god.
Dallas, what about you, man?
Yes. So like, I guess short answer is all the Marvel stuff. More specifically, the What If show is what I'm most excited about
Yo,
because
I've watched that trailer so many times.
that trailer was so fire.
I don't want to see it. I want to be surprised.
Oh, you'll be
I,
surprised. I
I
think you'll
think you'll
really like
still be
that.
surprised. Yeah,
I don't. When is that show
Well,
supposed to come out? Like next year? Next year?
next year, it's summer of next year.
yeah, so
Oh,
I
that's
just
a
want to be
while.
surprised.
Okay. Well, I'm still excited because when they announced that, I was like, that's gonna be really cool. I like anthologies, animation, bringing the people back. I'm with it. And then they showed me the trailer, and it was everything that I wanted. I'm
The
so hyped.
animation looks amazing.
It really does. It looks so good.
And Jeffrey Wright's voice gave me chills when he said, "What if?"
Yo, they got the perfect person for that. Jeffrey Wright, like he was dope.
Yeah, the Marvel stuff, they're releasing, God, I do remember them saying that they are planning to release 10 Marvel shows and 10 Star Wars shows over the course of the next few years.
Goodness
Wow.
gracious, that's so much.
I mean, but then you consider the fact that most of those 10 shows are shows that they've already announced.
Oh yeah, I have like 5 Marvel shows listed on this document already.
Yeah, like WandaVision, which is coming out in January 15th,
I'm also
which is
excited
super
for
soon.
that. That trailer was dope as well.
Wait,
I
it's
have
already
to
it's
say,
coming out for my birthday. Oh,
yeah,
Yeah, right before.
thank you,
yeah.
Marvel.
I
Best gift
have
ever. Well, second best after the gift the American people gave me.
a
January
uh,
20th.
yeah, I do have to say WandaVision, and I feel like you can go back through our podcast, which I will admit I was wrong about what this show is going to be about. You and Colin were actually kind of spot on, but I remember not being interested in this show at all until I saw footage, and the more trailers they released, the more interested I am in that show.
So were you thinking
Yeah.
it was just what were you thinking?
Well, because they said it was going to be, they talked about how sitcoms were going to be a big influence on it. And I just figured,
Right.
oh, it's just going to be a sitcom type show.
Oh,
I
I
didn't
got you.
think that they were legitimately going to be like, no,
Leave
we're
It to
going to actually,
Beaver and
yeah,
Brady Bunch
Full
and
House. I wasn't expecting them to like legitimately make a 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s sitcom for like every episode.
Yeah.
And
I'm
on top,
like
that makes it weirder, to be honest.
very.
it just seems like from what I'm getting, it seems like Wanda's like stuck somewhere and she's this first season is going to be interesting because we're going to see all the sitcoms, but then I feel like by the end of the season, they're going to break out of wherever they are. And the second season is just going to be like chaos.
Well, that's if we get a second season. This show is supposed to lead directly into Doctor Strange 2.
Ah,
I feel
We'll
like a
see
lot
what
of these shows are just miniseries.
it's also
which is
like
great. I hope they go hard on
very
like the miniseries angle.
we'll see. I mean, they're gonna have 10 shows, so they might just throw a little season out here and there. Yeah, this trailer gave me some different vibes, which I guess is I'm not surprised, but they kind of jump from like haha sitcom to something really ominous is happening,
Yeah.
especially when Monica shows up.
Yeah, and she was like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "I
Like,
don't know."
I don't know. And oh, this is taking a turn.
That's Catherine Hahn's character, right?
No, no.
No, Monica Rambeau.
Monica is Tiana Paris's character,
Yeah. The little girl from Captain Marvel.
all grown up.
Yeah, now she's an adult.
Yeah, that show, and also the more I hear about its production too, they did it in front of a live studio audience as well.
What?
That's really funny to me.
Yeah, and they shot it with technology that they would have used back in those times that you would shoot for sitcoms.
That's
Like
why
they
it
would,
looks so real or like
yeah.
so correct.
Yeah, I read that in an article a few weeks ago and was like, "Oh my gosh, is this show gonna be the one that I, like, love more than any other Marvel Cinematic Universe show that they're planning to come out with?" Like,
'Cause, like, in my head, like, if I ever wanted to make something that's set in, like, those times, I would wanna use, like, even though it's a pain, I would wanna use, like, the cameras of the time and stuff like that. So because that's I feel like you get closer. Like, costumes are one thing, but, like, you can't mimic the way that like, a camera from that time would have filmed. You can't mimic the way it had to be lit. You know? it's hard
Yeah.
to replicate that with new stuff just because, there's some small technical things that just happen and, they could be considered like impurities or inconsistencies, but they would still happen on these pieces. And there's no way to replicate that unless you've got like an expert at replicating that sort of thing. Right. So like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That explains though why the 70s stuff and the 50s stuff just looked so accurate. I was like, there's something about the way that this was shot, question mark, but I don't know enough about the like cameras or filters or anything like that to put my finger on it. But if they were using cameras from the 70s, then that makes, if they were lighting like they did in the 70s, like if they use the same materials as the Brady Bunch, like the clothes, like then that explains why it looks so authentic.
Yeah. So, but we've spent a lot of time talking about WandaVision. We've also got
Right.
Falcon and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is coming out. I think they said in March, which looks dope as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks. I'm not any more or less excited after this new, I guess, trailer or first look or whatever they're calling it on the internet.
I was always going to be excited because it was Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it looked
And
cool.
like a
It
new
still looks
Captain
cool.
America. I'm excited about that.
Yeah. And then there's also, what else did we get a trailer for? Loki, our first look at Loki, which I'm interested in. Again, wasn't interested until I saw footage. And now I'm interested because I don't know what the hell is happening on this show. I'm like, what is this? It could be the Timekeepers. It could be, what is it? The Living, um, oh, I can't think of what they're called right now. It could be a lot of things. And I don't know what it
I mean,
is.
Owen Wilson says it's like the TVA, which I don't remember what that stands for,
Yeah. No,
but
it's
I can look it up. The Time Variance Authority apparently is what
interesting.
that's what Owen Wilson is a part of, and he looks like he was great
Mhm.
for that little bit of time that we got him for.
The Living Tribunal, I believe is what it's called. Yeah, a lot of people think that Gugu Mbatha is playing the Living Tribunal.
That makes sense with all the statues and everything that was around her.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect from that show, but it looks like it could be interesting just because it's a whole nother realm of the MCU that hasn't been explored before.
Yeah, it should be dope. I like Loki more than I did when Avengers came out. Like this is technically the Loki from Avengers, but I feel like the reason his character has changed over time is because they realize that people want to see him like this. I mean, yeah, like he has been recently. So I'm excited to see that with Owen Wilson and Gugulatu.
Oh, I forgot Gugu. Haven't done that in a minute. Yeah, Loki looks interesting. On top of Loki, we talked about what if already. There was a sizzle reel for Ms. Marvel, which they are currently shooting, and that looks adorable. The actress playing her looks like she's absolutely adorable. It was also announced that she is going to be in Captain Marvel 2, along with obviously Brie Larson, as well as Tiana Paris, who is playing Monica Rambeau for WandaVision. And it was announced officially finally that Nia DaCosta is directing the film.
I really want to watch something that she's done because she's making Candyman, which, didn't come out because pandemic. But I've been so excited for that. And now I'm just waiting for Captain Marvel 2 because she's making that. And it's like, I want to see this woman's work.
Right? The only available option is Littlewoods, and that is so not your style of movie. I can tell you from owning it and watching it. I do recommend it that everybody see it, but it's not your thing. I don't think you would like it.
Well, I guess I'll wait.
What else do we have from Marvel? Moon Knight show is definitely happening.
Was there an announcement about that? Or they're just like, hey guys, it's still happening?
Yeah, they were like, "Yo, it's happening."
All right. That's cool.
Oh, they announced that the Nick Fury show that had been rumored is going to be a Secret Invasion show starring him and Ben Mendelsohn.
That
Can
sounds like
someone explain what Secret Invasion is, please?
One of my favorite comic arcs.
something.
In the Secret Invasion comics, what happens is they discover that Skrulls have been disguising themselves as different people across the earth, including some superheroes. So the entire arc is like a paranoia type of thing where everybody's trying to figure out who's actually who they are and who's a Skrull.
Ooh.
And I'm so excited about that, which is why I was excited when the Skrulls were introduced in Captain Marvel, because I love the Secret Invasion storyline. It has one of my favorite, actually, no, it has my favorite Hawkeye moment, which won't be in the TV series, but has my favorite Hawkeye and Mockingbird moment. But yeah, it's a very interesting comic series. I would highly recommend it. So I'm super excited about the fact that they're going to make that into a TV series. They're making Armor Wars, which is going to be a show with War Machine.
Don Cheadle.
Yeah, finally. It's about Iron Man technology getting into the wrong hands.
I feel like
I read that description.
yeah, that happens probably a lot.
Tatiana Maslany has been officially announced as She-Hulk, which is why I was like, I don't know why we're worrying about this a couple of months ago when we talked about it on the podcast. On top of her being officially announced as She-Hulk, we have Haley Steinfeld, who has also been officially announced as Kate Bishop, along with photos of her as Kate Bishop.
Dope, dope, dope.
In the days preceding that, there were paparazzi photos of her filming
Yeah.
as Kate Bishop, so that was kind of already confirmed.
Yep.
And then Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which announced that Catherine Newton is going to be coming in as Cassie Lang, and Jonathan Majors has been officially confirmed to be playing Kang the Conqueror. Again, don't know why we were worried about that, even though he said he wasn't. Yeah,
Kang the Conqueror.
he's playing Kang.
So here's it's an interesting one for me because Kang is like obviously a time traveler.
Yeah.
I know this is not going to happen. But I feel like because of it being Jonathan Majors, I need a scene where he goes back in time with like a companion. And then he gets to like where he grew up and he's just like, this is where my dad used to beat me. Let it.
Stop.
Stop it.
Well,
Dallas.
speaking of Kang the Conqueror's family, it was also officially announced that Fantastic Four will be directed by John Watts, the man who directed Spider-Man: Homecoming, Spider-Man: Far From Home, and the man who was directing Spider-Man 3.
I love that.
Woo. That's nice.
I'm so hyped.
Another Fantastic Four installment.
I'm just waiting for the John Krasinski news to drop.
Oh Lord.
And the Emily Blunt news.
No. And then we also have word that Black Panther 2, they have officially decided that they will not be recasting Black Panther and that they will be exploring different characters in the world of Wakanda.
Oh,
I look forward to seeing what they're going to do.
I do too, even though I'm deeply sad.
Now that I don't think they're going to use Shuri.
Ooh.
Oh, we're not going to talk about that.
I think they wouldn't. But yeah, they might have to just bring Killmonger back because y'all run out of options.
I'm not mad about that.
I mean, that would be dope, but I just feel like Ryan is somewhere mad. Like, yo, just dang it, Letitia. All right, sorry, moving on.
Wait, what?
We'll talk about it off. Yeah, we'll
off.
tell you about it later.
Okay, thank you.
Letitia Wildin.
I think that's all the Marvel news outside of Black Widow staying in as a theatrical release for May 2021. We'll see how long that sticks around. But thank you.
Oh wait, to me.
Yeah.
I have to ask you. Do you think that's Black Widow in the Loki trailer?
I don't want to hope. I am telling myself that it is Lady Loki so that when the show comes out, I don't have to deal with that pain.
Okay, so let's say that is Lady Loki. Do you think that he's going to see Black Widow when he goes to Vormir? Because that's clearly Vormir.
I don't want to. I don't want this because I know it just ends in pain. I know it just ends in my suffering. So like,
that's fair.
I'm like, listen, unless it ends in her coming back to our timeline, it doesn't matter. Like, it's still gonna be sad.
I mean, it could happen.
It could, but I'm not
can
gonna
do it.
hold out. I'm not gonna hold out hope that that's what's gonna happen.
That's
Now,
fair.
now when I saw that people were talking about it, I didn't notice it the first time I watched the trailer. I saw people talking about it on Twitter, and I immediately went back to look at the trailer and was like, "What are they talking about?" And saw it and went, "Oh no, oh no!" And I did feel hope for about an hour, and then I was like, "No, let me kill this in me now, so that I don't have to die inside when the show comes out."
That's the saddest thing you've ever said to me.
It's wild. But yeah, Kayla and I were immediately like, "Oh my god, that's Black Widow."
Yeah, it didn't occur to me.
So I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, it's sad, and I've talked to another Black Widow fan, and me and her, she was feeling hope about it for like 24 hours, and she was like, "Oh God, I gotta stop." And I was like, "Yeah, no, it's sad, it's awful."
Goodness, Marvel has just beat y'all down as Black Widow fans.
Listen, man, Black Widow fans got like paid dust. All right.
Yikes.
So we don't have hope when it comes to her anymore.
That's fair.
We're getting a movie that we're hoping is good, and then after that, there's no hope. But yeah, so then there was the Star Wars news, like I was mentioning earlier. We talked about Ahsoka getting a spinoff. We talked about Hayden Christensen coming back for Kenobi. They're also coming out with a TV show called Rangers of the New Republic, which makes sense because that's been somewhat of a big deal on The Mandalorian this current season. So that's cool.
Is it
I've
gonna
been
be?
interested.
Oh, sorry.
No, continue.
Oh, is it gonna be live action?
Yeah, all like I think all these shows are live. There's only two shows on here that are not live action, I think.
Okay.
But I've been interested in seeing how the New Republic came to be anyway. So I'm very interested and intrigued by this show because I wanted to show us how that came to be. Andor has been in the works for a while. They are currently filming, which is cool. I'm looking forward to Diego Luna coming back as Cassian Andor. The sizzle reel that they showed was really nice. Justin Simeon is currently developing a Lando Calrissian event series,
Dope.
which hopefully will have Donald Glover in it.
Get
Yeah.
better.
I truly believe that it will because Donald Glover did sign a contract to work on multiple projects when he first signed on to solo a Star Wars story. I'm sure Lucasfilms knows just how much we want Donald Glover back as Lando.
I hope so.
Bad Batch, which is an animated spin-off of The Clone Wars, is coming out, and that looks really cool because it's from the point of view of stormtroopers who were introduced in The Clone Wars, the final season. So that's dope. The Star Wars is releasing a animated series, like a short animated series, like there are short animations called Visions, which is Star Wars but anime. And yes, please.
Sounds like that could be pretty dope.
We talked earlier about Patty Jenkins directing a movie called Rogue Squadron. Taika Waititi is still developing his Star Wars movie, so that's also a thing that will be happening as well. Something to look forward to. They're coming out with something called The Droid Story, which I think is a documentary on how they made the droids and stuff. And then the creator of, oh my gosh, I don't remember what the name of that show is. Russian Doll, I believe it's called, is creating a show called Acolyte, and it sounds dope as hell because it's about the rise of the dark side shortly after the High Republic. The High Republic is an era that we are currently being introduced. We are just now being introduced to in Star Wars, mostly through published media, through their books, through their comics. It's just now starting. I think it just started this past week, as a matter of fact, in the comic books. So for her to be doing a show that's going to be at the end of an era that we're just learning about, and for it to follow a dark, like the dark side, sounds super interesting. And I think when she was initially signed on to the show, she said it was going to follow a female lead. So if I'm getting a female Sith live action show, oh, I'm so down.
Ooh.
Totally here for that. I was a little bit anxious when they said that they were doing 10 Star Wars shows. I'm still a little anxious cuz I don't want Star Wars to get too saturated, you know.
I guess, but
I want the quality to stay, but I can't help but be excited cuz I'm at
it
my
just
core I'm a Star Wars fan.
how do I put this? It feels like each of the stories they're choosing are very unique. And so I don't see how you would have it become saturated just because you're getting a completely different thing from each show. Like one's focusing on like the way that the rebellion or the way that the new republic was established. One is following Ahsoka. Like the Mandalorian is like observing the rise of the Sith. And like the what is it? What was the order? Was
Oh, yeah, the Mandalorian is currently following the rise of the First Order.
yeah, the rise of the First Order. So I feel like each show is showing us a different aspect, and so it's not just like they're all spin-offs of each other with a basic like equals same storyline. It just feels like they're exploring this world because there is more to Star Wars than just the Skywalker saga. So I do like that they're actually exploring that there is actually more to Star Wars than the Skywalker saga.
Yeah, I'm still looking forward to the point where Star Wars gets to the point where they're confident in moving away from characters that we already know.
That's true.
Yeah. Like I want to meet some new people and I want to see their stories in the Star Wars universe too. But like right now these shows do all sound interesting and intriguing to me in some way or fashion. And before we finish off this segment cuz it's been going on for far longer than I wanted it to.
Oh yeah.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has been a minute. Disney is also releasing animated series for Tiana, Moana, Zoolander, Zootopia, and Baymax, which
Yeah.
I'm excited about getting a Tiana TV series because Tiana deserves her due.
She deserves more. Yeah, and her world was very vibrant, and the music in The Princess and the Frog was like probably some of the best that Disney's ever put out, and it doesn't get enough credit.
You know what Marvel show we forgot to talk about? They're doing freaking Ironheart.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
my
Riri.
god.
They're bringing Riri to the MCU, played by Dominique Thorne, and I'm so excited. I almost screamed when I saw that they were actually going to do Ironheart.
Wow.
That's Wait, she's already cast?
Yeah, she's already cast. They announced it
She's
that
cast.
day.
Nice. Okay, cool.
Ironheart coming soon to Disney Plus, and I cannot wait.
It's gonna be dope.
It's going to be super dope. But also, I think the last thing I want to talk about for Disney is they are also releasing a cartoon called, I hope I pronounced this right, it's Iwaju.
Oh, with the is it Kenyan company or
It's a Pan African entertainment company called Kugali. I hope I pronounced that right. They are working on a sci-fi series, and I'm super excited because sci-fi, black people, fantasy. Oh my gosh, you've just hit my touchstone. That's it.
great combo.
Sign me up.
Sign me up. And they put out like a visual development art from the series, and it looks very nice. And I'm so excited because yeah, that's my wheelhouse. That's my shit. That's not even everything that they announced, guys. It's probably not even half of all the stuff that they announced, and it took us like a half hour just to discuss all that.
Wow.
Because we didn't even talk about all the stuff that they're releasing for Disney Plus. We didn't talk about all the Pixar stuff that's being released. We didn't even talk about all the Disney movies that they're planning on doing.
It's just a lot. It was very overwhelming.
I mean, it was fun. It was so fun. Because it was just like, yeah, let's do all this. There were some things I was like, ooh, questionable. Let's not do that. We didn't talk about the fact that they're making a Sister Act 3. We didn't talk about the live action Disney movies that they're doing. John Mulaney and Andy Samberg are about to play Chip and Dale.
What?
Like, yeah.
I've never really cared about Chip and Dale since I was
But-
like a very small child, but I'm
But
excited for
now
that.
I do. Ugh.
Yeah. They finally confirmed the official cast for the live action Little Mermaid. You know, they did all sorts of stuff. And it's all on their Twitter page and it's all on their website. Just look up Disney Investor Day 2020 and you will find all the news you're looking for. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us for another review and what felt more like a Comic-Con reaction than anything else.
Mhm.
Tell us how you feel about Disney still doing its world domination thing and taking over all of our content. Are you upset about it? Are you happy? I can't help but be excited because Disney owns everything that I love. So what can I do about it? Thank you guys for joining us. We hope that you guys enjoyed our holiday reviews. Don't ask me why I'm doing Dallas's job today. I wish I could tell you. Thank you, Dallas, for joining me in this Marvel conversation. I feel like me and you could have had a whole entire episode just based on Marvel content. Gabby, thank you for talking to me about Star Wars content. I feel like me and you could have a whole episode about Star Wars content. Colin, thank you for being here. We enjoy your company even when you don't talk. Thank you, Crown Digital, Brendan and Nio for putting us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Usually Dallas takes this moment to thank me. I'm not going to thank me because that's just weird. You guys can find us on Twitter at y'all_different, or you guys can find us on Facebook at Creative Differences PC, or you guys can find us on Instagram and Tumblr at Creative Differences Podcast. I think I got all those right. I could be incorrect.
You got them right. You got them right. You got them right. I'm back. That was wonderful. Everyone thanked me. Not you, like Colin and Gabby. You stay quiet. Audience, thank you to Demi in the comments. She did wonderful. And she's our editor and our producer. She's not going to thank herself because that'd be weird. But
It's
yeah,
awkward.
she covered everything. So it's been different.
Oh, wait, guys,
individual
your social media.
socials.
Oh, yeah. I guess we're doing that. If you guys want to talk to me about Disney trying to knock everybody out of the streaming game or those 2 movies I didn't watch, you can hit me up on Twitter at a king named Simba.
You can hit me up on Instagrams if you want to talk about Christmas movies or, rom-coms at Stegosaurus.
Do me a favor and count how many words I said in this podcast. I don't think it will take you very long.
And then put them in
tell
the comments.
on Twitter at Doug McGuck.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dreamy Films. Dreamy is spelled Dreemi. Thanks again for joining us. Hope you guys enjoyed that podcast. And come talk to me about either the movies that we talked about or talk to me about Disney stuff because I love Disney.
Boom. Again,
Woo!
it has been different. Happy holidays. All of the holidays.
Happy
Bye.
holidays. Bye.